Hello, 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 stamping friends. This is Caron, your ATX stamping lady. Come on into the craft room today, guys. I am going to share with you a quick video today. Hopefully it's quick, to create a box for your note cards. In the earlier video, I showed you how I created the 4 note cards featuring the, what was it, timeless, oh my gosh. I don't remember the name of the stamp set. Sorry. Featuring the timeless. Okay, I'll get the name right. I'm sorry. So I wanted to go ahead and create a box for you so that you could go ahead and mail these cards or give them as a little gift. Now you can use basic white cardstock or any kind of colored cardstock. I have pads of 12 by 12 paper that are perfect for this purpose. They are pretty thick in nature, so I generally will not use my Stampin' Up! 12 by 12 designer series paper to make boxes, primarily because one, the paper quality, the paper, not quality, the paper is a little thinner, so I don't think it will stand up to mail and that kind of thing, so you would need a little bit of a sturdier cardstock. So either our 12 by 12 or our 8.5 by 11 thick cardstock can work. You could decorate those. I chose to find some 12 by 12 designer series paper or pattern paper that's two-sided, that's already done. So the work's already done, and all I would need to do is put an envelope on here or a mailing label on here, and it will go through the mail. So let's get started with our project today. I went ahead and I'll go ahead and I'll put this in the blog, the corresponding blog post for today. I'll go ahead and I'll put the template in there for you so that you can see the measurements and not have to worry about taking notes or measurements for today, although you can if you'd like. Okay, so you'll need to start with a basic piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 11. Okay, guys. So if you're familiar with us, our paper pads, our papers are 8.5 by 11. We just need to cut 1 inch off of each side, or 1 inch off, whether you do 1/2 inch on each side or not. You would need to make sure that you're starting with a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 11. Okay. Once you have that, it's all about scoring and cutting. So I'm going to grab, this is my new box. Look at this, paper's fairly thick. It is dual-sided. I like the idea of the outside being the solid color and the inside you have the pretty design on the inside. So that's what I'm going to keep in mind. Let me grab my trimmer. You can use a scoreboard if you have. That's fine, either way. And so what you'll need to do on all 4 sides is you'll need a 1 inch score line, okay? So because of the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, there's already a 1 inch side here, so I'm just going to use that, and I'm going to make me a 1 inch score line all across the cardstock on each side. 1 inch. Well, let's just start that. On the 7.5 side, let's just do the 1 inch on the 7.5 side. Okay, let's keep it simple. Okay. Now you'll need to see your score lines, so if you need to reinforce them, go right ahead, okay? Now, on the 11 inch side, we're going to need to make a couple of score lines, okay? One is going to be on the 10 inch side, right? One is going to be on 10 inch. But you know this is going to be an 11 inch. So if it's on 10 inch, that means it's a 1 inch score line, right? So we're going to line this up on the 1 inch. And we're going to make that score line. That'll give us a 10 inch score line. Okay. Now, we're going to need a score line at the 6 inch. We're going to need one at 1 inch. 5 inches, 1 inch, 5 inches, 6 inches, and you're going to need one at the 10-inch or the 1-inch score line, okay? So I'm just going to line this up on 1 inch on that side, and then I'm going to have my score lines. And that's all we're going to need, you guys. Let's put this away now. So if we bring our template back, all right, we have our, on the 11-inch side, we have a score line at 1 inch, score line at 5 inches, score line at 6 inches, and a score line at 10 inches. This 10 inches will equal 1 inch from on the Stampin' Up! Trimmer that's on the right-hand side. And then on the 7.5, we're going to need a 1-inch score line and a 1-inch score line. Okay, so that's all we need for our template. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to burnish my folds. Okay. Oh, I want this on the inside. Just keep in mind what you're wanting to do. I want the box to be the solid color. And you can burnish on both sides. And then we're going to burnish our 5-inch and our 6-inch. Perfect. Now, here's how we're going to finish our box. Grab our snips. We're not going to cut anything off. We're just going to make some corners and then miter those corners, okay? So on each end, we're going to cut on the score line. And then miter just a little bit. And by miter, I mean just cut a little bit of a sliver off. That's going to debulk it a little bit so that the corners will fold better, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing at all of the 1-inch marks. Now this design I got from watching a video from Jackie Bolheis, Klomp & Stampers. And we just cut a little sliver, a little notch. Okay. Okay. And the object is to take away some of that bulk from the inside. Okay. Now one of the tips Jackie provided in, I think she said, is make sure that when you're doing your miter, you kind of take the sliver from the left side of your cut. I don't know why that made a difference, but hey, she knows what she's talking about, and I thought the box that I made was pretty darn good. Okay. So all I'm doing is making those slits and those notches. Now the next thing I'm going to have to figure out for you guys is to do a box just like this so that we can put our actual cards in there. I think if we just leave it the full 8.5, we might be able to do the same thing, but I haven't tried that yet. If you know of a box that we can use similar to this, that we use 1 sheet of cardstock, let me know. I would love to share with everyone how to create one of those. Okay. One more cut and slit. And here we go, last one. All right, so now I like when folks tell me, when it's a teaching moment as far as how and where you put your adhesive, okay? So your box is pretty much formed, right? If you will kind of put this all in here, you can see where your box will be. Your box will be something like that, right? So these little notches will go on the inside, like so, for the top and bottom. So you'll know that you want your adhesive to be on this side of your 1-inch squares. Now I'm going to use double-sided tape. You can use liquid adhesive, you can use whatever you'd like, but for me, I think one of the strongest adhesives for box purposes is double-sided tape. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of strip on the 1-inch pieces all the way around, and then we're going to put our box together. Okay. Okay. If you need to refine your score lines, you can do that as well. And when I say refine, I mean if you need them, it seems like it's a little not aligned properly, you can go ahead and realign them. Okay. This was the fastest box that I was able to find, and I liked it. It involved one sheet of cardstock or designer series paper, cardstock, whichever one you're going to use to go with. And it's just a couple of slits, and I mean, what could be easier? What could be more perfect than that? All right. Just a couple more strips, and then we'll be good to go on this box. Then it'll be time to just close up the box and finish it off. All right. So now that we have all of this, we're going to go back and I'm going to burnish the adhesive into the cardstock so that there's definitely a good transfer of adhesive. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to also reinforce my score line, okay? Now what I would use as a fastener, couple of items, and I know I have them somewhere, I just can't put my hands on them right this very second, is I would use some little Velcros. Yes, and the little Velcro is what I would use to to close my box lid. All right, so now we just start to remove our adhesive, our release paper. And then first things first is we're going to align the edge to the edge, like so. Align the edge to the edge. And by the edge, I mean make sure that this little edge right here aligns with the edge of the, whoops, before you burnish it in. Okay. So you have a clean corner and a clean edge. Okay. So the next part we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing to the middle section. Remove the release paper. Guys, if you are not planning on mailing your your little gift sets, you can definitely use designer series paper because you're going to be giving it to someone. It's not my preference whether I'm going to mail it or not, because I do want it to be a little bit sturdy. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure that the corners line up, edge to edge, before we cement that burnish. Okay? And our box is almost done. See? We got the bottom done. And we're going to do the same thing to the top. Okay? Then we're going to just do the same thing. Make sure edge to edge lines up. Burnish it there. And then lastly, make sure edge to edge lines up. And then burnish that fold. Okay? And our box is done. Okay? It's pretty secure, but I would go ahead for me and put a Velcro snap so that when the box closes, it's closed. You can also further, even though it is designer series paper or pattern paper, you can also add some embellishments to this if you're going to give it to someone. Take it as a gift, a birthday gift or something that you're doing in person. You can go ahead and put some more design elements on here to complete your box. And then just like that, let's take a look and see how many we can fit in our box. All right. So these were just a couple of card bases that I made. That's 2. Well, heck, let's just grab some, okay? Definitely on this one we have, well, we don't need to do that, right? Hold on. We've got 4 in here, right? So let's see if we can add any more. What is the maximum that will fit in here? If we added 2 more, because I have 4 in there with design and what is that thing called? What are those things called? With foam tape. So I think if we just did single layer, no foam tape, we could probably get away with 6 to 8 additional 6 to 8 cards in our box. And it would still be able to hold a little bit more. Okay? So guys, thank you so much. Again, I will post, update the blog that I created today, or add another blog that shows you how I created the box to hold the 4 note cards that we created, featuring, and I'm still not remembering the stamp set name. I'm getting old, which is why I forget things like that. Ugh. Twisted in Time. Sorry. The note cards that we created yesterday featuring the Twisted in Time bundle. Online exclusive. And this is the box that can hold those cards. All right. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time. Happy crafting!